Hi everybody, KintaroTheNerd here. The headband is back. The bandana is back. And you guys know what that means. It's time to deal a snake on. So, the Metal Gear series playthrough continues with the next game in the series, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. So yeah, this is going to be the start of my playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. This is going to be the Master Collection version on the PS5. And yeah, we're going to start a new playthrough and we'll continue on from there. This game is one of my favorites of the series, right behind the original Metal Gear Solid. This is a fun game. This is a fun game. I like the story. I like the characters. The humor in this entry is some of my favorite of the series, especially the codec conversations with Sigint, paramedic, all of them. So this is gonna be a fun playthrough. It's gonna be a fun playthrough, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So yeah, without further ado, let's commence Operation Snake Eater. Oh wait, more like Operation Virtuous Mission, because we have to do the Virtuous Mission before we head to the Snake Eater mission. So yeah, let's commence Operation Virtuous Mission.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
So this game is the earliest in the Metal Gear Saga. I said Saga. Why did I say Saga instead of Saga? But yeah, this game is the earliest in the Metal Gear Saga. Set during the 60s, during the Cold War. So this takes place before all the other Metal Gear games. July 30 a.m. August 24th, 1964, Pakistani airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Let me reduce this a bit.
Put out
That is
that
good.
cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask.
He is ignoring you.
Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Anyways, never heard that before.
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
He's like, yeah, okay. So I'm going to give you guys a heads up that this game does relate to some real-world events that happened during the 60s.
Depressurization complete.
So I just wanted to
6
give you
minutes to
guys
drop
a
off.
heads up
Opening rear
there.
hatch.
Sunrise.
I'm sure when this game was made I'm sure when this game was first made on a PS2, you weren't supposed to see the Metal Gear Solid Snake Gear on his mask there.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate the alarm model.
This is one for the history books. The world's first Halo jump.
Unofficially.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by.
Officially,
Status
this
okay.
never
All
Prepare
happened.
for drop-off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
Why am I so dizzy now? Directed by Hideo Kojima.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the Virtuous Mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the Virtuous Mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story, so why'd he want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first, and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war.
Scary time.
Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba. And so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust.
Thank
But
goodness.
in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Who
Sokolov.
else?
They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
A monster.
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight.
Damn.
Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't
Kind
have
of.
the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No, according to our intelligence, he's in Selino-Yarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
So, my question is, if we had gotten Sokolov back, what would have stopped the Soviet Union from trying something to get him back?
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino-Yarsk in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west.
Yeah, you will see prompts like this, saying you're going to first-person view.
If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking.
More often than not, you'll see something that you wouldn't have been able to see in normally.
Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the
Like
recovery
that.
point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat-proven.
Hope so.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat Talon?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong,
And
you'll
probably
be eating
will.
dinner, breakfast, and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Huh. Yeah, you'll pretty much be living in the jungle if you get left behind. Uh-oh. Successfully touched down. Snake. Snake. It's gonna be so awesome playing the Delta version of Snake Eater.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No. There's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you.
Gotcha.
If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
Yes, sir. Okay. Let me get accustomed to the controls here. Alright, push button. Weapon button. R1 is first person view. Ooh. Nice view. Alright, L. Alright. Okay. Alright, L1 reorients the camera behind me. Okay, I gotcha. I just think I'm familiar with the controls now. It's just like riding a bike.
Snake, first you need to find that backpack you lost on the way down. Your backpack got caught on a tree to the north. Try heading in that direction.
Okay. So S is to crawl. Okay. I gotcha. I got it. It's all coming back to me. Oh, Snake. Yeah. Game looks great. Game looks good. Delta, Melodious Delta looking awesome. We're looking forward to that one.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the Enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from Item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna.
Yep, like snakes.
You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun?
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too...
Yeah, but you can't grab more
suppressor's
suppressors.
durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Major
Solo
Tom's.
covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
How nice.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So, how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Nope.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your
You're
hands.
on your own.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
John.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a
My
name.
father, my son.
What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier
The
and your
boss.
mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right.
The one and only.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've
That's
lost weight.
specific.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack.
Okay,
Just
I can't
because
get that.
soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the
Yeah,
leaders of a
that's
country.
true.
So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The
I
enemies
get
we
what she's
fight
saying.
are only
I get what
enemies
she's
in
saying.
relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your code name is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit. A group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing
unofficially.
you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone
Pretty
else I'd
sure
rather have
that
with
those
me.
operations are
Oh,
top secret.
And one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC. Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
I'm definitely rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the Major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80.
Master
Call me if you need my
Miller's
advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
traditional
Your mission
mentor
is to retrieve
frequency.
Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Commencing Virtuous Mission now.
Yeah. The mission begins. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is try and get some food. Gonna get some food over here. Switch over to a knife. Alright, so we got some mushrooms. Alright, so we got ourselves a snake. We can also use the tranquilizer gun to capture a live snake. Alright, so we got ourselves some ammo as well. Okay, so we got a backpack here. If we get our any items or weapons that we need, we can take out of the backpack and put and have on our person. So I just took the motion detector out of our inventory and into a backpack. To put it back into our inventory, we just select the motion detector. The same thing with weapons too. You can also equip food and captured animals like python and throw at enemies. Give them a little fight. Okay, so here's our food. Here's all the plants and animals we've captured. To eat it, just eat. So, again, we can capture animals live. Looks like we got three cages. We got 3 cages that we can hold animals, small animals in, like snakes or birds or whatnot. Well, animals we've captured or animals that we killed, and as well as plants, will show up down here. Problem is, over time, they'll decompose. They'll decompose and they'll go bad, and definitely not a good idea to eat them then. If you see a fly icon over the emblem, then that means they're bad. And finally, let's go over the camouflage. The boss is going to go over this with you later, but let's go ahead and go over the camouflage. So your camouflage is divided into 2 sections, face and uniform. And above, and you see at the top right, you got the camo index. Right now it's showing 10%. The goal here is to get your camo index as high as you can get it, so you can better blend in and hide from enemy soldiers. So I'm going to go ahead and select the Woolen face paint. That'll add 5 to our camo index. Oh, and we also have this mask where we can disguise ourselves as Raiden. Don't ask. Now, for uniform, I'm going to equip the tiger stripe. And you can see down below what's effective in. In this case, trees, grass, or against soil. So I'm gonna select the tiger stripe. And there we go. Now, movement also matters. Movement also matters. Go ahead and capture myself another snake. So we're in the grass, which puts us in intrusion mode. Like how in previous games you could crawl into a dut and it'll automatically go into first person view. Same idea here. I'm going to go back up here. Where are you? Ah, here we go. Let's go to the binoculars. Zoom in with triangle, zoom out with square. You got these collectible flaws. And you're supposed to, if you can shoot all of the flaws, these keratin flaws, you get something good. There. I just shot it. I don't think I'm gonna bother. Shooting them all. I don't know the locations like the back of my hand. The master book that comes with the master collection shows the locations of all the keratin flaws. Problem is, you can't really pull them up at your convenience. You can't really pull them up mid-game at your convenience and look at them whenever you want. Okay, let's save.
Saving the game, Snake?
Alright, save successful.
Hey, Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla King of Monsters?
No, what is it?
It's a movie. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's
Nope.
about this monster called Godzilla, who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake,
Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
suspend your disbelief.
So then what happened?
Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity has no way to stop the monster. Dr. Shirazawa develops a new type of weapon, but meanwhile, Godzilla is getting closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating everything in its path. It was originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you ever get the chance. It's mostly mindless fun, but it's also got a serious anti-nuke message as well.
Where can I see the original?
You'll just have to go to Japan.
Really? That's too bad.
Well, if you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America too.
Why's that?
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
You think they're still going to be making Godzilla
Yes?
Of course. Everybody loves Godzilla.
Yeah.
movies? Sure know a lot about movies.
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
Okay, then I'll tell you everything I know. When the going gets tough, movies can save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
Yeah. They're still making Godzilla. They're still making Godzilla movies. And sometimes they'll have a crossover with Khan. So you can call paramedic if you want to know more about the flora and fauna you've come across in the jungle, like the python we just picked up.
I see you caught yourself a reticulated python. The reticulated python is said to be the longest snake in the world. The biggest ones can grow up to 10 meters in length. Although they're not poisonous, they're still very dangerous, so be careful around them. They have a highly ferocious temperament, and they can swallow whole, even large animals like deer and pigs. Their most distinguishing feature is the mesh pattern of their scales. This pattern acts as a highly effective natural camouflage. If you think there might be a reticulated python about, pay close attention to your surroundings. Otherwise, you could get bitten before you even know it's there.
Right. But how do they taste?
Huh?
Do they taste good?
You're actually going to eat one.
Why else would I be asking?
Cannibal.
What was that?
Nothing. Let's see what the guide says.
She has a
Any
guide.
luck. It says they taste pretty good.
Good. I can hardly wait.
I hear you, paramedic. I hear you. You can also call the boss on this frequency 141.80, the typical mentor frequency. Master Miller / Liquid used it in Meredith R1. Snake / Pliskin used it in Meredith R2. I'm starting to see a trend here. Both the mentors I talked about ended up not being what they appeared to be. Alright, let me ask.
Camouflage is an indispensable tool when you're sneaking through the jungle. To use camouflage, first press the Start button to go to the Survival viewer. Then select Camouflage and press the Enter button. Select Uniform to select Battle Fatigues, and Face to select Face Paint. Choose battle fatigues that match the surrounding environment. The most effective camouflage is attained by selecting fatigues that blend in with the environment. Camouflage patterns that stand out in your surroundings will attract attention.
I wanted to ask her about CQC.
Visibility is poor in the jungle, so you'll be finding yourself in a lot of unexpected encounters. Naturally, this means that close quarters combat will be more important than ever.
There we go.
So I'll have plenty of chances to use CQC then.
That's right. In proximity encounters, firing a gun isn't necessarily the best response to every situation. It's only one option among many. Rather than taking the time to draw, aim, and fire a gun, engaging your opponent in hand-to-hand combat can sometimes be a faster and more reliable way of subduing him. Besides, in a sneaking mission like this one, it's too dangerous to go around firing your gun.
Like
You'll
Rambo.
end up revealing yourself to the enemy.
Yeah, I know. You created CQC to deal with exactly this type of situation.
With your help, of course. In a battle situation, you'll only have a split second to decide how to attack. Use the weapon button to attack using a weapon, and the CQC button to attack using CQC. Press the CQC button once to throw a
Boom.
punch. Pressing it multiple times in succession will allow you to deliver a combo attack. But striking your opponent is just one aspect of CQC. It doesn't really start to shine until you've got your enemy in a hold. Press and hold down the CQC button to
Okay.
grab your
I
opponent
figured
with
it
your
was
right
square.
hand.
I figured it was
There,
circle.
you can use the left stick to knock your opponent off balance and throw him to the ground. This can be used to knock an opponent out in a single blow. If you don't press the left stick, grapple with your enemy until you're behind them and can get your knife to their throat. Grabbing an enemy from behind and holding your knife against his throat will render him virtually powerless. From this point, there are several things you can do. By double-clicking the left stick button, you can slit his throat by using your knife. Move the left stick and press the CQC button to throw the enemy to the ground. Tap the CQC button rapidly to choke the enemy. You can use this to knock him out or even kill him if you do it long enough. By continuing to hold down the CQC button, you can move around while keeping your grip on the enemy. By pressing the weapon button, you can aim your currently equipped weapon at another enemy.
Oh.
With their comrade
Using them as human shield.
the enemy will be reluctant to attack you. Press the left stick button to press your knife against the enemy and demand information.
Okay.
You'll be surprised at how much you can learn this way. But don't get too complacent. While your enemy may be powerless in your grip, he'll use any opportunity he can to counterattack.
Right, so don't let your guard down. So that's pretty much a rundown of C2C. We'll have plenty of time. We'll have plenty of times to put it to use. Look what's ahead. Alligators. Or crocodiles. Don't even think about tracking them and trying to capture them. Won't work. You won't be able to capture one alive.
I see you found some Russian oyster mushrooms. The Russian oyster mushroom is an edible variety that belongs to the shimeji family. It's known to be particularly rich in vitamin B1 and niacin. Apparently, it's usually found growing on tree stumps and hollow logs, so look there if you want to eat some.
Alright, let's ask about the crocodiles.
The gauge below your life gauge is your stamina.
Yeah, okay. Let's wait till we get closer. Okay, got bud juice. Oh! Huh, okay. Grenade. Alright, now can we ask about the crocodiles?
Eat food to recover stamina. Capture plants and animals to get food. I have information on the local plants and animals, so don't hesitate to ask. To take a rest, all you have to do is...
Oh, I shouldn't have skipped that. It was saying something useful. She was saying something handy. By saving a game and quitting, by saving a game and quitting and then coming back later, Snake will automatically recover his health and stamina. So while you're taking a rest, from playing Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake will also be taking a rest.
That area is inhabited by Indian gavials. The Indian gavial is a crocodile that originally lived in freshwater regions in India and Nepal.
Why are Indian crocodiles way out here?
They're captive crocodiles that were brought here for research purposes but escaped and became wild again. Indian gavials are large creatures. Adult males grow to over 6 meters in length. You'll never catch one alive, even if you use the tranquilizer gun.
They're too big.
Got it. So, how do they...
Taste? Yes, I did look into that. You know what they always say. Tastes like chicken.
Sounds delicious.
But be careful when capturing an Indian gavial. Normally they're cowardly creatures, but the ones in the forest there are belligerent. Apparently they attack humans.
What do you mean?
They weren't the direct subject of any serious research, but some think they may have become violent as a side effect of the atomic research that was conducted nearby.
Right, so be careful. Alright, so we picked up a grenade. So let's take it out of our backpack. Good, crocodile. Nice, crocodile. Alright, so we got 3 pieces of crocodile meat. And yes, that's a hornet's nest in there, up there. Let's grab some more items. So we got another suppressor. So we'll come across. So we currently have 14 suppressors that we can attach and detach whenever we want. And I just picked up some more. So I wouldn't worry about running out of suppressors. And I'm also thinking I also believe there are different suppressors for different weapons. Still, best to use your gun as little as possible. So, don't go trigger happy.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer. The Uniform option lets you pick your uniform, while the Face option lets you change your face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted.
Yep.
But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the Camo Index. The Camo Index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
Gotcha. Good to know. Okay, I want to go over here. Should be some items I can pick up over this way. SVD, Dragunov Sniper Rifle. Okay, so... Okay, I want to talk about something else. So when Metal Gear Solid 3, when Snake Eater was first released, it had the top-down camera feature of Metal Gear's past. But when the Subsistence version was released, they added in a new 3D camera feature. So now instead of looking top down, you can see all around Snake. Okay. Time to move. Okay, our camo index has gone low. So let's find something. Okay. Squares. Effective against brown backgrounds. So yeah, that boosted our... Why is the mask +5? Why does the mask add to our camo index? You know, I'll choose the splitter. Okay, how about now? Okay, I just choose the leaf. And we'll go back to Woodland. So, I can totally see you. Achieve a camouflage index of 90%. So, how am I doing? I don't know about you guys, but I think I've been explaining the... I think I've been showing off the camouflage feature rather well. Okay. Also, there's a map. There's a map that we can use. There's a map feature that we can use. Okay, heading back into the bush. And I see that fog. I see that fog up there. Okay. There you are. It's a frog next to us. One with nature indeed. Alright. Full on ammo. Okay. You got that guy over there. And there's another guy way over there. If my guess is correct, thermal goggles. Just picked up thermal goggles. Also, this should be a good time to mention that there's a limit on how many items you can have on your person. I bet he's going to come this way. Yep, there he is. Back off slowly. Okay. Then I decided not to move. Okay. Oh, shoot. That guy, that's got that guy over there. Okay. This is the way to the exit. Dolino Vano. Snake's got that diabolical look on his face. He's got a look that says, I'm gonna ruin these soldiers' whole day. What was I gonna do? Oh, right, save.
Do you want to save? Snake, do you know the creature from the Black Lagoon?
Nope, never heard of it.
These scientists are investigating a place deep in the Amazon called the Black Lagoon, and they get picked off one after the other by this fishman thing. And there was this scene when the heroine is going for a swim, and the creature sneaks up on her from underwater. Oh, I thought my heart was going to stop. I mean, of course, the 3D effects in It Came from Outer Space were a lot more intense, but...
It wouldn't be referring to you coming from outer space, would it?
How rude! Why do you say that?
Because no one on Earth could be as charming as you.
Fine.
Nice
I'll
one.
just get to the point, Snake. Be careful of what's around you when you're in the water. Just imagining you swimming in those jungle rivers makes me think of you being attacked by a fishman.
I appreciate the concern.
Fishmen aren't the only things that'll attack you in the water. Really be careful out there.
Okay.
And don't be attacking any pretty girls going for a swim, either.
Are you calling me a fishman?
You started it.
She's right. He did start it. Nice pickup line, though. Okay, that should be the hornet's nest over there. Beekeeper! So that guy is gonna run. Is going to bother all his buddy with this bee problem. Okay. You can, there's a path you can head down here. And grab some more items. Alright, grabbed it. We grabbed an assault rifle. Some potassium. The problem with the one downside with these HD LED with HD versions of these games, that you really do notice how low detailed some textures are.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive.
Yeah.
He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
Okay. Let's get to work. I want to call the boss. No response. Interesting.
I see you have a calorie mate.
Calorie mate.
The thing you're holding now?
Oh, the little block that looks like a cookie?
Try it, it's pretty good.
Okay. But what is this thing? Never seen anything like it.
Calorie Mate is an energy supplement that contains all the proteins, lipids, vitamins, carbohydrates, and minerals needed for a balanced diet. It's a well-balanced food. Because of that, it's just perfect for giving your body the nutrition it needs in combat.
It sounds like a space-age food.
Real astronaut food is not very good, but that should taste fine.
Yeah, and it'll help balance out all this jungle food I'm eating.
It's easy and quick to eat, so it's perfect when you're running late for an important mission in the morning.
I've never been late for a mission.
Really? Aren't you always keeping people waiting?
Yes.
It's easy to keep track of your calorie intake and receive the nutrition your body needs, so it's good for losing weight, too. All of the geisha girls in Japan use it for watching their calories.
Is that why they're all so slim?
Right. And any diet where you eat nothing at all is bad for the body.
I see. You seem to know a lot about Japan, don't you?
Yes, I love Japan.
Still doesn't explain why something like a calorie mate will be in Snake's inventory.
You want to save?
I'm pretty sure a calorie mate wouldn't be standard issue on a mission. Excuse me, a little burp there.
Snake, Have you heard of It Came from Outer Space?
Yeah, you told me already.
So this astronomer sees a meteor, but it's really an alien spaceship, right? And the aliens start replacing the townspeople with clones and forcing them to help repair the ship. The 3D effects were quite realistic.
I've got all the real I can handle here in the jungle.
No, you don't get it. Precisely because it's realistic, with the images jumping out of the screen at you, it makes for a nice escape from reality. I have to admit it made my eyes tired, but it was really intense. Unfortunately, they don't make very many of those movies anymore.
When did it come out?
I was still in college, so probably about 10 years ago?
Guess I'm out of luck then.
You know, they're coming out with household versions of video cassette recorders. One day you'll be able to see old movies anytime you want. It'll be like having a movie theater in your own home.
Really?
It's like if you had a record with movie film etched onto it instead of music. It'll work the same way.
She's predicting the future.
No, really. And someday they might make movies where you control the characters yourself.
Sounds like magic.
It'll happen. Make sure you stay alive to see it, Snake.
She really is predicting the future. Okay, so I know where Sokolov is. Like, one button. He's gonna be at the S. He's gonna be at the S. So let's try and head over there. Oh, so you notice how Kier is blacked out? They're gonna explain that to us real soon. Man, I'm really looking forward to Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. It looks to be a real faithful remake of the yeah, it looks to be a real faithful remake. With some extra gameplay and keep an eye out for that guy. Yeah, Delta looks to be a faithful remake. Looks to be faithful to the original story. So that's nice. Alright, so I am getting close. Sokolov should be in that room. Sokolov should be in there. In that room. I can take this ladder up. I can take this ladder up to the roof. And then drop down right outside his door. There we go. Nice and easy.
Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of Gru. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
You soon
He's a
will.
member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power. The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
Where did you out?
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so? America is truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts.
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
No one spotted me.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
Yeah. Hope we don't bump into anyone along the way. This guy has no sense of stealth. Is he trying to do the Kamehameha? What was that? What was that thing he was doing?
Freeze!
Busted.
So this is the legendary boss.
Not quite.
Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. Huh. What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
Ocelot.
He's the Ocelot commander.
That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
The future Revolver Ocelot.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
Damn good shot. A really good shot. I expect nothing less from Ocelot. Using that ricochet technique he used on us on Metal Gear Solid 1.
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
What was your first clue?
GRU operatives? What is that stance? Huh. That gun.
Yeah, laugh now, asshole.
If you're not the boss, then die.
Oops.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
Quality chop. And wrestling move. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. And sleepy time.
You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do. But testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
KO'd.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
Young gun. Okay, let's save. Then we'll catch up to
You wanna
Sokolov.
save? Hold on a sec. Hey, Snake, have you ever seen Forbidden Planet?
No, can't say I have.
It's about this expedition that goes to the planet Altair 4 in an ultra-fast spaceship. When they arrive, they meet the survivor of the last expedition, Dr. Morbius. Dr. Morbius was exploring the planet along with his daughter
Wait a minute.
Altera and the versatile Robbie the robot. Ignoring the doctor's warnings, the expedition team is suddenly attacked by an invisible creature called the Monster from the Id. The special effects they used for the science stuff were really neat. I wish I had a robot like Robbie that could make anything I wanted it to.
I'm more interested in that invisible monster. If I were invisible, I wouldn't have to bother hiding or wearing camouflage.
Maybe someday you'll be able to turn invisible.
Yeah, that'll be the day.
Okay, I was right. So I saw parts of Forbidden Planet once, and I thought Leslie Nielsen was starred in that movie. And I was right. Leslie Nielsen did star in Forbidden Planet as Commander John J. Adams. This was way before Leslie Nielsen's career took a comedic turn with Airplane. So you want to do you want to know, you want to see some, you want to see what happens. You want to see what happens if you try to kill Ocelot, knowing what role he plays in future events. Problem solved. Series over.
Snake, what have you done? You've changed the future. You've created a time paradox.
Time paradox. That's awesome. That's great. I just loved how the trophy / achievement said, problem solved, series over. That's just freaking funny. I thought there'd be some cardboard. I thought there'd be some cardboard or some items we could collect. I guess not. At least not in this place. At least not in this first At least not in this first trip to what's this place called? Wasvet. At least not on our first trip to this charming little place. Alright. Let's go meet up with Sokolov.
You okay? Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best crew has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished.
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we've got some of the best backup we could ask for.
Look.
Oh boy.
That's what they were making you build.
Yes. The Shagohod. The treading behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo.
The precursor to Metal Gear.
Is that thing finished?
No. This is only the end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2?
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
A world war.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
Yeah, getting out is not gonna be. Gonna have some bumps along the way. Don't look down. Don't look down. The boss.
Boss?
What's she doing here?
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Attack of the Killer Hornets.
Hornets?
It's a nice touch having some of those Hornets land on the camera.
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back, boss.
That's
Now
freaky.
all 5 of us are together. It's time we go to the depths of hell itself. It's raining blood. Is he crying?
Here's the big boss himself.
Kuwabara, Kuwabara. Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift for my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads. These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us Cobras. He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
He can't. Took her 1 second. Took her 1 second to disassemble his gun. Ow!
He's seen my
That
face.
was a crunch.
We can't let him live. If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
Wait. He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him. Jack, you can't come with us.
new blood has been rejected.
Are we done here?
Now, on to Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Unfortunately.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
What boss was talking to Snake about when they were first talking to each other in this mission? About how allies today might be enemies tomorrow. I think she was trying to warn him about what was about to happen. Damn lucky to be alive.
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Major. The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item, and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound.
Got that?
If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
Yeah. Snake will be unable to... You won't be able to move Snake unless you get those wounds treated. And also... You see the red part of the health bar? That indicates the injuries. Injuries you sustained, like what Snake is sustaining here, will take off bits of your health bar. That's the that's what the red part of the health bar is indicating. Alright, so we need to... Ooh. Okay, broken bone. Alright, broken bone. We need to use splint. And we use bandage. Okay, another bone fractured. Use a splint. And a bandage. The rest are deep cuts. Okay, so disinfect it, stipped it, suture, and bandage. That's how we treat the rest of these wounds. Disinfected, stipted, suture, and bandage. Got one more. Ouch! Haven't you heard that?
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Gonna be hard. Right, turn to the left and... Wonder what that skeleton was supposed to be of. Being carried away. Anchor acting up. Been on my feet too much today. That's definitely a snarl.
Excellent. A great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death.
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her.
And just gave it back to her.
She has spunk.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
That's no toy.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
This guy is nuts. Damn. Save? Yes. Yes, save. How many percent? Now we're going old James Bond. Real. I did that by pressing R1. See, you press R1 and you're so supreme. I live my love, not for honor, but for you. There'll be no one else. I'm strangling the cat. I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
Someday you go through the rain, and someday you'll feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal that trial to survive. For the day we see new light, I give my life not for honor, but for you. In my
Time, there'll be no one else.
It's the way I lie to you.
I'm still in a dream, snake eater. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. And that's it for this video. That's it for part 1 of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. I know this was a lengthy video, about 2 hours long, but I wanted to get the Virtuous Mission all done in one video rather than have it split in half, and who knows how long the second half would have been. But yeah, that's the start of my playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll be back with part 2, where we'll start on Operation Snake Eater. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back with part 2 of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Until then, have a great rest of your day, guys. Take care. Stay nerdy.